The celebration of Halloween has its origins in the Gaelic festival of Samhain, a festival marking the end of the harvest season and the beginning of winter, or darker half of the year. Traditionally, it is celebrated from October 31st to November 1st. Rituals surrounding Samhain include bonfires, dancing, feasting, and building altars to honor deceased ancestors. Samhain was seen as a liminal time when the boundary between this world and the other world could more easily be crossed, and spirits, or fairies, could more easily enter our world. Most scholars see the spirits as remnants of the pagan gods and nature spirits. At Samhain, it was believed it was important to propitiate these entities to ensure that the people and their livestock survived the winter. Offerings of food and drink were left outside for them, like treats. The souls of the dead were also thought to revisit their homes seeking hospitality. Feasts were had, at which the souls of dead kin were beckoned to attend and a place set at the table for them. So in visiting the Candlelight House on Halloween of 2019, this was not only a visit to trick-or-treat current owners Adam and Ella, but also an attempt, while the veil was thin between realities, to offer appeasement to owners of the past as well. From my previous visits, I've gotten a multitude of pleas of help me through EVP. So on this trip, I knew I'd be making a concentrated effort to see if I could get any answers on how I could possibly be of any assistance. Would I hear from the Owens family, including their descendant Otto Henry Pritchard? Or, with it being Halloween and the believed porosity between worlds, would other spirits come through, discarnate beings uninvited and unwelcome? Please note, most responses are heard upon review and not in real time. Changes in the video's filter visually mark the replies that were the most significant. Those various audio responses have been enhanced, repeated, and sometimes slowed down. As always, we do not offer this video as irrefutable evidence of the paranormal, nor do we claim our annotations are 100% conclusive. All we're asking is that you please approach the data presented here with a curious mind, and that you wear damn headphones. In the tradition of Halloween, we left candy for Otto in his former kitchen as we have in the past. He was rumored to have quite the sweet tooth. We also left a recorder on, alongside a tri-field meter with a camera fixed on all of this recording. Then we conducted an EVP session from 2 rooms away for about 10 minutes, hoping through the freezing bluster of that night to catch a voice, or a candy wrapper being handled, or even a meter going off. Instead, we found our digital recorder had been stopped.
Hello, Owens family. Me, Matthew, Mike, and Lindsay. Although I know you like candy, so I left you some chocolate on the windowsill there in the kitchen. basement? Who's making that meter squeak there by the window? Is something to do with the cellar?
That knocking felt like it came from beneath the floor.
Who needs help? What's that? The EDM?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe this thing might have
The flash or something.
Now, what was that, the light?
That was interesting, because as soon as you said the accident in the cellar, it went.
You think? You mean like a ghost?
Maybe.
Man, I wasn't ready for this shit.
That.
Yeah, there's the vocalization though, I mean, we're far away from that, I mean, so you definitely hear the difference between
Yes.
the distance of us versus some sort of vocalization in the air.
Right.
Absolutely.
This session, we were all in the kitchen.
Did someone try to talk to us? We're really trying hard to establish a line of communication with any spirits that are still in the Owens family farm. This is such a beautiful, beautiful home. Is Otho Henry Pritchard here? I know you've gotten fussy with me in the past because you feel like I'm trying to make you do tricks, but we're really just trying to validate your identity. I've been here enough times now that it seems like somebody here has a message of needing help, or maybe something that happened associated with the cellar of this house. And I was just asking about the basement, and we heard some knocks. We're trying to figure out if this house has something to tell us. Did something happen? It's hidden in the basement of this home? Alright, let's put these back. Okay, we're gonna listen to these recorders and see if we can hear your voice.
At this point of the night, Candlelight House owner Adam joined us, and we decided to do an Estes method session using a ghost box. I've been critical of this experiment in the past, because purely from my viewpoint, as someone passionate about ITC, it's inferior to the double-blind ghost box method in regard to capturing data. But from a psychical approach, I have to admit, even when doing a double-blind experiment, there are words and phrases that come into your mind that are not necessarily always embedded in the audio. Is it all pareidolia? So if the receiver listening to the audio says something that's a correct answer to a direct question, but that answer was not in the recording after review, what was that? All coincidence? Do weird things happen that we cannot always explain? Yes. So this time, instead of doing the double-blind ghost box experiment, I went straight Estes method. Basically out of curiosity of what the experience and replies would be, and the fact I couldn't find my splitter cord that runs between the ghost box and my headphones. So how about that for some honesty? If you're unfamiliar with these two ITC experiments, you can look up my video, The Double-Blind Ghost Box versus the Estes Method, for more details.
Ready?
Yep.
Is there anybody here at the Candlelight House that can talk to us this evening? I know you've used a device like what's on the windowsill before. Is there any way that you can talk to Lindsay and say hello to her?
I don't want to.
Are you not in the mood to talk to us tonight? Can you tell us your name?
I thought it said I am just a minute ago.
Who is I am? Is this Otho?
Okay, I think you should try it.
Wow, what happened?
I lost it because that one song, it's like a throwback rap song, came over boom, boom. And I can't get past it now.
We had some pretty interesting replies. I mean, it was like,
Oh, really?
yeah, it was kind of spot on. So
Okay.
thanks for ruining everything.
Yeah.
I agree with
Break
that.
the spell.
I
Yeah.
am so good at ruining. Well, can you communicate through that thing okay?
You have anything you want to say to Matthew?
Dark?
Where's it dark at?
Story?
Is there a dark story that you need
Get
to
out of
tell?
here.
You want us to leave?
Identify yourself.
Listen, you can't. You help.
Who built this home?
John, get out.
Oh shit.
If you want us to get out, you're going to have to try a little harder than that. Can you make a sound?
Mother?
John's the man that built the home.
People don't.
People don't what?
Mary?
Where's John now?
Is Sam here? Sam, are you with us?
That's why.
That's why what?
Mary?
Do you get upset when people ask about the basement?
Courage? Spirit?
Is there a spirit in the basement?
Careful?
Careful of the basement.
They offer. Pritchard?
Is there a Pritchett here?
Just a family home.
Can you give us a number?
3. Hush.
Who's doing the knocking in the floor and on the walls?
People, please leave.
Why do you want us to go?
Heaven?
Is there a heaven? Is there a hell? Can you call one of our names?
Go home. This conversation is done. You can just leave.
We're just trying to talk to you and be friendly. We're not trying to bother you. Do you know what today is?
Get out.
Seems to be one.
Go home.
We are going to go home soon. So can you just talk with us? Who's telling us to go home?
Stop. No. Adam.
What don't you want me to do?
Don't scare him. That's it.
Are you wanting Adam to get us out of here?
Out.
Where are you in the house?
Dead. Her laugh. Mike.
Who called my name?
Can you say my name?
Lindsay.
Oh shit.
Thank you.
Mike.
Yes. Go ahead, I hear you.
Remember?
Remember?
Hey, buddy.
Were you a friend of mine? Okay, cool, chill.
I'm sweaty.
I'm sweating. Well, it's freezing in here.
Do you have anything to do with this house?
Adam.
Do you want to talk to Adam?
Have you over?
Have I had you
It's
over?
him.
You've been over to my house?
It's Candle. Candle. Hanging.
Do you have a message for Ella?
It's about a table.
What about a table?
Adam,
Yes. Do you have something you'd like to say to me?
memorial services.
Who is this? Who's speaking?
Who has the
Another
earphones?
laugh.
Who's wearing the earphones?
He heard you laugh.
When you watch that tape, you're gonna be like, whoa.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, when Lindsay said, what you say? Who?
I said, can you say my name? And it wasn't 5 seconds later you said Lindsay.
Really?
Yeah. There were some seemed like there were some direct responses.
There definitely seemed like there was some when you were on there. I thought it was interesting where I kept hearing like laughs, and then I heard something say, "He heard you laugh."
Yeah.
That was weird.
That was definitely interesting.
Yeah.
And something clearly doesn't want us in here.
Well, it's usually hot and cold.
Yeah.
Help me get out. Help me get out. Help me get out. I mean, unless that's the message, help me get out.
Oh. Yeah.
These next clips we do straight up ghost box sessions using the Leargeo box and then an S box. The replies here vary from historically significant to the location to broader replies that seem arcane in nature. But overall, the clarity and intelligence behind these responses would be difficult to explain away. 2 side notes. Whenever I visit the Candlelight House, I get called evil a lot through ITC sessions. Evil as in EVEL. And that was my nickname I was introduced by back when I first visited when I was there with Jeff Bodart representing our podcast, Kinda Makes You Think. So keep that in mind. And it's impossible to do a paranormal investigation with my buddy Mike without being armed to the teeth with coffee. And that night before arriving, we went to Starbucks, as usual, for our cup of mud, and I consequently felt like I spent half of my time in the Candlelight House trying to find my coffee cup. And it did not go unnoticed.
Evil. Who's evil?
Again?
It's coffee. Who has coffee tonight? It's coffee. Who has coffee tonight? Sounds really clear tonight.
Could you share a name with us, please?
Not home here? Who's not home here? not home here. Did you guys hear that? Or am I insane? I'm just here to visit.
You associated with this house?
Who are we speaking to?
Who keeps telling us to get out?
That got a good question to get our attention.
Who's here in this house tonight with us?
In the Senate ones, energy, they got in the Senate ones,
Is your voice of a little kid? Is there a little kid here with us? Is there a little kid?
Do we need to talk to a guardian or a gatekeeper? Who's in charge?
If anyone's listening to us, can you tell us the name of this house? Is there anybody from the Owens family here? Is Cordelia here? Is Sam here? Sam here?
After a few times of hearing what sounded like the voice of a young boy, I asked about Sam. Sam is thought to be a spirit of a child in the Candlelight House. So to hear the name Owens, and then to hear a type of sound that is reminiscent of a child's noisemaker, and then in the tone of that of a young person, the phrase, "help me," left me feeling dumbfounded, feeling helpless, and really questioning, what does any of this really add up to?
I'm gonna turn this off. Unless you can tell us if someone's here. Any spirits that want to talk? That's weird.
That blow $40 on that? Yeah. I'm a fight Republican. I will tell you. Come on, talk to us, please.
Can you say hello?
That was Matthew. Who are you? Well, listen, if you tried to talk to us, thank you. If you didn't, I'm returning this. So, we will talk to you later. Good night. Figure out how. You got a light? I do, but it doesn't work that way. I'm not giving up on it yet.
No, I would. You guys want to call it a night?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep at them all night anyway,
Right.
and I know you gotta get on the road. It's a little cold.
It's a bit chilly.
Yeah.
Is this an agenda?
Those EVPs though, early in the
gosh.
night.
Yeah.
Well, and when you go back and watch the responses
Yeah.
that you did after
Yeah,
our
yes.
questions, it's crazy.
Okay.
It goes beyond.
Coincidence.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Work.
Oh.
Just pick up all those candy.
In conclusion, I felt like this was a great visit. So many messages, some direct, some cryptic, but all adding to the intrigue of paranormal phenomena. It's sometimes hard to gauge while you're in the moment of an investigation to really acknowledge the wonder of what's transpiring. But I do feel Samhain 2019 made for a mysterious night that opens potential for return visits to this amazing location.